Vishnu, thank you so much for joining us on ZEE CONNECT.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure seeing you, and even more seeing you almost twinning with me from head to toe.
Yeah, I just don't have my highlights on today.
Yeah, but I love the colors that we ended up not
But
even...
you look much prettier, you look much good looking than me, so it's no comparison.
No, I'm sure you have a lot of fans, and with Kannappa coming up, everyone's very excited.
Thank
so
you.
we want to know all about the movie, especially the character, which is a deeply spiritual character. Tell me what drew you to this story.
See, the story was originally narrated to me in 2014. A writer came and told me that I should probably take a look at it. I was very excited. Then I bought the rights from him, and then I started writing the script, my version of it.
Huh.
And we made it, this required a very large budget. So we were working on it, and 2023 we decided to get on the floors with it.
Okay.
So we said, okay, we've been sitting on it for too long. Now it's time to bring it to life. I look at it as if it was Lord Shiva's, I believe that Lord Shiva chose me to tell the story of Kannappa to this generation. Kannappa has been told many a times in our history, in the South films, and in Hindi in 1954 it came out as Shiva Bhakt. There is a temple near Tirupati called Sri Kalahasti, where it is about the Vayulinga. And the story originates from that, and Kannappa is one of Lord Shiva's legendary devotee who gave his eyes to Lord Shiva. So I believe that, it is time this generation needs to know more about our history, about our devotees, about our gods, and who are we without our history.
Yeah.
So that's why we made this movie.
So tell me, the legend of Kannappa is rooted in devotion. How do you think this story is going to resonate with the current generation? See,
one of my biggest challenges was, how do I tell this story for this current generation and hold them to, sit through the movie.
Yeah.
The minute you say it's a devotional movie, 50% of the, under 20 kids will be like under 20 young men.
Not
will
for
be
us.
Like, no, man, we'll just give it a pass.
Yeah.
So for me, I wanted to create, the story is about an atheist who becomes God's greatest devotee. Now, who was he as an atheist? Why did he turn into an atheist? Nobody is born an atheist. You're born with choices. And he chose the path of atheism. And from there to turn 360 degrees of his life to become one of the greatest devotee, unconditional love. And the message in this movie is that, you don't need to be traditional. You don't need to be, following rituals or anything to resonate with God. You need to have a pure heart.
Correct.
And God will accept you for what you are. And Kannappa is a character who gave non-veg to God, who gave deer meat, boar meat, he cleaned the in and around the linga with his, shoes, having shoes in his feet. And, he brought in water from his mouth and he poured it on the linga and he cleaned it. So all these things are there.
Which are believed actually to be so wrong when it comes to
they say you can't do that, you can't do that. But for him, Lord Shiva was his father, he was his friend.
Yeah.
And, he did all of this saying that you're hungry. You know what? I just, hunted a deer, so have the deer meat.
Yeah.
And God accepted is what it's written in Shiva Purana and in all our Puranas.
Yeah.
So it is beautiful. So that kind of pure devotion is what this generation needs to understand. You don't need to go to the temple per se to connect with God. You can be anywhere to connect
100%.
with God. So I think underlying this movie that's what it resonates.
Yeah. That's how the current generation is going to relate to it more as well.
And I had to, create, fictionist world of Kannappa where, there's a war, there are fights, they're all, into all that. So, we had to lead up to, the story.
Well, talking about that, how did you actually balance out the cinematic drama that you brought into it with the religious sensitivity?
See, we live in a bloody woke generation, everybody gets offended with anything, so, it's very funny, I grew up, if I was, today, I feel so sorry for this younger generation. I think as parents, this generation of parents like me, we are kind of being too soft, soft pedaling with the kids. If the kids of today's, I behave like the kids of today's generation, I would have got 2 tight slaps on my aura, my, my therapy, everything is there with my mom being 1 slap. The therapy is over, yes. Therapy session done. Dad's coming today evening, and
think of the belt and
the hangers. My dad used to just break the twig off the tree, and if the leaves were coming up, you knew, okay, therapy session right now.
Yeah.
That is how it. See, the sensitivity of it is that I wanted to show that there's nothing wrong as long as you're making a movie with devotion. And when people watch it, they know what our intention is. And we didn't deviate too much from the history.
Right.
So that's the problem even I had with the censor officials. When you go to the Srikalahasti temple, you see that there are portraits and statues of Kannappa with his feet on the linga. Because that's an iconic pose. When you look up Kannappa online, you'll see the pose of the tribal man with a leg on Kannappa, on the linga, and the linga's eye is bleeding. So thing is, the censor board official, no, you'll be offending people. You can't put the leg on the linga.
Backlash, yeah.
I'm like, so are you going to tell me that I should not tell our history? Are you going to tell me that the temple priest did not have an issue looking at the movie and they gave a certificate it is? You're telling me that tomorrow you're going to go to the temple and stand in front of the portrait of him and the statue of him said, remove that. Are you going to say that?
Yeah.
What happened in the 2nd century, and God appreciated the way he did it, and there's a story why he put his leg on the linga.
Yeah.
It's not that he's encouraging everybody to put on the linga.
Correct.
It's just that he's taking his eye out and he doesn't know where to place it and he puts the foot as a marker. So you have to understand the backstory before getting offended. So I believe I made the movie with utmost devotion and conviction.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, there are things which are probably written and they happened and they were just not told enough. And that's what you are trying to do.
Yes.
You're just bringing them out to the world.
Yes.
So tell me, what kind of prep went into bringing Kannappa's journey to life on screen? What kind of prep went in physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually that you put in?
So there's a broad question you asked. Well, as per making the movie...
because you're also an actor and the producer of the movie. So tell me also about balancing, the 2 hats.
We did a lot of homework. We were trying to stick, how do I relate to this audience, but how do I not deviate too much from the audience?
Yeah.
So we took a lot of care on the script, the costumes, and especially the locations. We shot the entire movie in New Zealand. The story took place in the 2nd, 3rd centuries during the Chola period. And I thought India was how it was during this time. And, crystal clear waters, beautiful skies, greenery everywhere, not yet destroyed by us humans. So I wanted to capture that. And I went and did that. And, I believe that it's going to be a very beautiful experience watching it in the theatres.
Tell me about the big names that are in the movie. Akshay Kumar, Mohanlal sir, Prabhas. How is it not just working with them, but also deciding who to place in what role?
When you write a script, you want to keep it, you think that, for this character, so-and-so person would be great. For this character, so-and-so person. So when I was writing, I thought about it and I was writing it for them. And, they say that you manifest it and it happens. And that's what I think, it happened.
Right. And what was the experience like when everyone came together on the set and worked on this mythological...
I would rather call it historical movie. See, Prabhas is a brother to me. And we are brothers. He's a good friend. He's more like a brother to me. So I'm okay. It was fun working with him. It was more like we picked up from where we stopped.
Yeah.
It was very nice working with Mr. Akshay Kumar. It was very professional. He's a wonderful person. You come on set, work, and he moves out. And as long as he doesn't waste a minute, he's very, very professional. That's something. And my red letter days when I, stood opposite Mr. Mohanlal and I worked with him.
Yeah.
As a child, I was a huge fan of him. I'm still in awe of
Who
Mr.
isn't?
Mohanlal. And when I was, standing in front of him and I was looking, I was like, wow. I grew up watching movies of this legend, and I've known him since I was a kid. I was probably this small, And this man is standing opposite to me, and I am countering dialogues with him. I'm parleying with him. I was like, wow. And I was in so much of awe with him. It was a wonderful experience for me working with that legend.
Yeah. Any memory, anything from the set that you want to
there are quite a few. For example, there's a scene where I kneel down in front of him and I have to give a 3-page dialogue.
Yeah.
After doing that, they said cut. We were sitting in the edge of the mountain, and he was standing, I was sitting. The dialogue got over and they said cut, and I was just still in the mood. He took 2 steps forward and he said, Mone, good job. Mone means son.
Yeah.
Son, you did a good job. Really good job. And he walked back. I remember that scene as if it is only, about 5 minutes back.
Yeah.
Because for me, he is, in my acting field, he's one of the greatest legends of world cinema, not just Indian cinema. And that man coming and telling me that I did a good job, I was like, I think I just passed a test. That's an amazing thing.
I'm sure it's an incredible feeling.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, hearing those words.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Tell me, if you had to describe Kannappa in just 3 words, what would they be?
Devotion, love, faith.
Wonderful. So tell us your experience about working with Mr. Mukesh.
See, Mr. Mukesh Kumar Singh made Mahabharata. He directed Mahabharata,
Yes.
all the episodes. He's one of the best directors I've worked with. Whatever I've written in the script of Kannappa, he brought it to life. And I'm grateful for him for that.
Wonderful. Well, great. Thank you so much, Vishnu, for talking to us. It's been a pleasure. We can't wait to watch Kannappa and take away so much from it.
Thank you very much.